God has already forgiven you. Forgive yourself. Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to talk to you this morning just really quickly. I got a couple studies I wanted to get out, and really their responses. This one wasn't a response to a message. This one was a response to a conversation I had after a service recently at a church. And they were talking about sin and specifically, this idea of my past. That when, they were living in this regret and guilt, like something had happened to them. And they were like, it still defined who they were. And that's simply not how it works. So let me say this. In the past, in the Old Testament, when God forgave somebody, it was because of the blood of bulls and goats. We know that. Old covenant sacrificial system. And when God forgave them and he looked at them, he would say, hey, that's the guy I forgave, completely forgave him. Because that's what the blood of bulls and goats could do. But in the new covenant, it's not the blood of bulls and goats, okay, and lambs. It's the blood of Jesus. And the blood of Jesus doesn't just offer forgiveness, it purifies us. So literally, it's like when God looks at us in a new covenant because of the blood of Jesus, it's not that we're just forgiven of our past, it's that it's like we've never done it. Like we are clean. Like God remembers it no more. We've heard that kind of stuff. Your past happened. It does not have to define you. It shouldn't define you. God never reminds you of your past. The enemy does. So if you ever feel assaulted or guilt, condemnation, shame, which Christians are not supposed to feel in right relationship with God, not living in rebellion, okay, but living in a right relationship with God as a child of God, condemnation, shame, and guilt does not affect us. So if your past ever becomes this tripping point for you and you feel assaulted by your past, that's clearly the enemy. Because God does not remind you of your past. Because of the blood of Jesus, it's gone. It's completely forgiven. And one of my favorite passages for this is 1 John 1, 8, and 9. And specifically, just look at verse 9 to keep it short. He says in verse 9, if we confess our sin, okay, this is, and by the way, that sin means error, okay, that things were not right in my life. If we confess those, okay, I did it. He's faithful and just, not just to forgive us of our sin, but to purify us from everything that's not right. The idea of purify means cleanse, like clean, like there's nothing left, like he can't look and see anything. That's the beauty of the ministry of Jesus. Listen, I meet people all the time who can't forget their past. They can't forgive themselves. God has already forgiven you. Forgive yourself. It happened to you. It doesn't have to define you. I give my testimony from time to time to people, and it becomes a little bit awkward for me when I come back. Like a couple weeks ago, I was up in Indiana where I grew up, and those people know me from my past. It's hard to look at them and be like, you don't know me. I'm not that guy. It's not that I just, do different things. I'm a stinking different person. That's such good news. That's such good news. So if your past ever comes flying back in your face, it happened to you, you're going to remember it. Sometimes there's consequences you're going to walk through, but it doesn't define you. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. That's not how Jesus sees me. That is huge, huge for you and I to live that out. Woo! Good truth, baby!